This collective really doesn't look like any of the things that they've gone through. And for so long, you would explain to people, you would try to defend yourself, you would try to announce your life, your behavior. And as soon as you stopped and you just let people assume what they wanted to assume, that's when the good things came into your life. Okay, so Spirit is recognizing that as you take these breaks, as you put down so many swords energy, we had literally the 4 swords, the 2 of swords, and the Queen of Swords. You laid down this feeling of, I need to explain, I need to be understood, I need to know. Because a lot of you guys have been receiving so many blessings. You guys look so beautiful, so magnetized. How could you have ever gone through the struggles that you have gone through? How could you have ever survived what you've claimed to have gone through? This collective, again, you don't look like you have any scrapes. You don't look like you've had any bruises. It looks like you could have been fed from the silver spoon since you were born. And so people, 101, as I say this, really have it against you to prove some sort of imaginary point in their head, to prove that the trauma that they went through is more than yours, or that yours really wasn't real, or that you make stuff up. And you, again, because you have gone through stuff, you tried to defend yourself, and not in a way of my trauma is greater than yours, but you've been through a lot. And so people assuming these things about you, it really struck a chord. But as soon as you realized that it didn't matter and you weren't going to change these people's opinions, you're supposed to be on your throne, babe. Like, a lot of times these people would send you this energy again because they saw you in this light. They knew that you were destined for great things. They knew that you were going to have success come your way. And they wanted you to feel guilty about it. They wanted you to not fully take it. They wanted you to make that it was selfish to do so in any way. And it's not, because again, you have, not saying that your trauma was the reason why you deserved it, but you've gone through so much. Why wouldn't you deserve the best? Let's see if there's any other messages from Spirit. The Emperor, as I split the deck. Literally, you're supposed to be somebody who leads by example. Somebody who's not dominant, but they're authoritative, okay? We have the 8 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. Yeah, you really chose to walk away from conflict. You were no longer settling to prove your point. And justice, as I say this. The scales are being balanced. So much sword energy, so much air energy. As soon as you walked away from this group, from these people, from just this idea that you needed to tell everyone your backstory, that you needed to prove yourself, that you needed to relate to people, that you needed to, I want to say, dumb yourself down. Honest to God is what they're saying. You do not need to dumb yourself down. You do not need to try to put yourself in a certain demographic or lessen your, no. And as soon as, again, you walk away from that, everything starts to resolve. You start to really feel formal in yourself. You start to realize that, this Queen of Swords energy gets this bad reputation sometimes of just being like a B word. But what actually, she just remains in her sovereignty and in her truth. 3, 2, 1. So yes, some people may find the truth to be too much, but that's not for you to decide. That's not for you to lessen what you say because it's going to hurt someone. And so you standing in that is really what's giving, there's so many blessings coming your way because the universe has been waiting for you to step into this energy for quite some time. Again, there's been so many people and so many obstacles sent your way. You've been called a B word. You've been called ruthless. You've been told that you're heartless, that you're whatever. And what it really is you are very protective of your peace, protective of your boundaries. And a lot of times too, I don't like this down low. It wasn't just people trying to ruffle your feathers with them saying that you got this or you didn't do this or this was fake. These people did want to kind of figure out some of your triggers, to figure out more of your backstory, and not in a way to be supportive. So when you cut off these people, Spirit's been handling business. And again, they might be pointing fingers at you because once you leave their life, I feel like things kind of go south for them and they go north for you, and they don't have anyone else to kind of, and it just feeds that delusion. It feeds their egoic thought that you in some way, shape, and form are doing something to people, are misusing your energy, your gifts, your talents to take from people, when in actuality, again, you've been the phoenix rising from the ashes so many times that you don't have to take from anybody. You don't have to belittle anybody. You know how to alchemize, to transmute, and to ascend to your highest power. And these people, I really don't think they can stand it. And once you walk away with the Eight of Cups, you walk away for good. Because all of those illusions start to lift and you see them for what they really, who they really were, what they really said, what they really felt. And you don't need to explain yourself to anyone or anything. You know what you've been through. You know what you've had to walk against. And you don't need to show to anybody. You don't. If you feel comfortable sharing your story, your message, your experiences, absolutely do that. But never feel like you have to prove yourself in some way, shape, or form. You've created beauty and success out of the chaos and destruction in your life, and that's something to be very beautiful. 555. Again, a lot of people don't understand how you can do this because it's not a very common thing to see. And so just because it's not common doesn't mean it can't happen. It doesn't mean that something was given to you for it to happen. So just keep doing you. Lay it to rest. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to reply. You just let them think what they want to think, and you just keep doing you because you've moved on from them for a reason. But if you need me for any of my services, if you would like to order any of my products, you may do so in the link in the bio, link in the bio only. I do have a Instagram reading giveaway going on through the month of October. So if you feel called to test your luck, see if you can win a free reading, you can check it out in the Instagram, also linked in the bio. But that's what I have for you guys. Proud of you. Keep doing you. Keep trucking on.